There was also a lot of different stuff coming around. Definitive Edition now out. So yeah, we know about that. If you're interested in getting the game, currently the game and all DLCs off 60%, which you get quite a bit now for $14, right? Like, you get base game. This is what you got for Northgard before. That were the base version, basically. Now, if you already owned the base version of the game, you will also get the Cross of Vida expansion pack, which includes the Clan of the Lion, the Clan of the Snake, the Clan of the Dragon, and the Clan of the Horse. If you owned the base version of Northgard before, you will now unlock all of these things, even if you don't need to do anything, right? It will automatically unlock, basically. It's always best to wait for a discount, 100%, like for all Steam games. I'm a big advocate of buying most of your games on Steam in the discount, 100%. 100%. I think we had that on stream already, that I rarely ever buy games that are not on discount. I am almost sure that I bought Northgard 8 years ago, when it were in early access, in discount. So, it was also a bunch cheaper then because, yeah, very, very small game back then. There were not a lot in the game, honestly. I think we had a few clans, multiplayer just dropped, so yeah, it's a lot different. On top of that, everybody will get the new Valhalla biome. New biome in here. Completely new. Shouldn't know that from anywhere before. The Bifrost biomes now are playable in the other modes, so all the Bifrost maps that you played in Bifrost, now with the other game mode in there, though. Like, we're playing the normal Northgard game mode here. There are a few, different things on these Bifrost maps, but generally there are more in the Northgard mode. So, for example, on the snow map, you will not have 6 months of winter. So we have normal Northgard times, 9 months of summer, 3 months of winter, basically. 100% discount. Yeah, if you bought the if you bought the base game, you now get Cross of Vida, Clan of the Snake, Clan of the Dragon, and Clan of the Horse for a 100% discount. The other clans you still gotta get though. Which is really cool. The shop rework. I'm a big fan of that. Obviously, this is not a gameplay change or anything, and nothing really changes if you are not interested in skins or anything. I am quite chill for skins though, so I'm definitely super happy about that. I will waste way too much time in getting nice setups for my clans. Like thinking about, okay, this town hall fits to the Snake Clan, and I'm gonna get this one here, because you can now also have your decoration not bound to your account, so it's not like one decoration and you use it for all the clans. You can now also set it for singular clans, which I think is quite nice. You also have the digital art book right now, which is basically this one over here. Don't know if you know that. You could buy like an art book of Northgard not too long ago. I don't know if this is even still sold. Like art book of Northgard, everything in there, and a little bit of dust on there. I'm collecting dust a little bit, yeah. But pretty cool. Now in the digital version, you can just check it out, when you got the game. And there's the art gallery from all the different artworks that were in Northgard, and yeah, you can check these out. I have something because you said you could contact through X, but I can see like a message. You can send it through Discord, 100%. Best thing is also Discord. If you do not have, can I do that? There we go. You could just join the Discord and PM me there. That would be the best thing if you're interested in doing that. Oh, you're on YouTube. Yikes. Wait a second. I can put it into the YouTube chat. Then afterwards, I'm gonna jump right back into the actual changes. Okay, this didn't work. Control Z. Control Z. And bang. There we go. So, Send you Discord video and check it later. Yeah, definitely. Can check that out, totally. So, let's go deeper in it. So, the Definitive of Northgard now includes the base game, the Cross of Vida expansion pack, the 3 additional clans, blah, blah, blah. If you don't... We talked about all of this. Oh yeah, there's the Frostbite Bifrost mode. There's a new game mode in here. Didn't even say it in here, but there's a new game mode, Frostbite, new PvE game mode that you could play. Yeah, I think, is it a solo or with your friends? We're gonna check that out later when we jump in here. But there's a new game mode in the game. This is the new shop. We checked that out before. I will probably just put that as part of, if that gets a video, as part of a video in here. Yeah, we actually have Rick as a skin right now. You weren't even able to play Rick before from the campaign, and Hagen is also available for the Raven now. The Southern Kingdoms now also have the campaign war chiefs Lofer and Kaloman, and yeah, a new look for Nimue. There we go. For the Northgard editor, we've also made some changes to the map editor. As we know, there are quite some Vikings out there that enjoy making special maps for others to enjoy. From today's update, scripts can be made independently from a map. This means the same script can be played on different maps in custom games. You can read more about this change in the changelog below the mods section. I guess there's not so many people around that know so much about the map editor here. Like we have Manavalent in here who's really deep in it. And yeah, hope that the modders have a good way of actually like bringing that out, basically. But yeah, not gonna go all too deep in there right now. And this is not the full changelogs, right? Is that the detailed one? This is the detailed changelog. There we go. So yeah, at first, blah, blah, blah. We got that already included into the base version already. We got the new biomes. We got the new unit, Guardian of Valhalla. Oh yeah, there's like a new giant on Valhalla, I think. On the Valhalla map, there's a new giant on there, and also a new middle. A new middle. I don't think it's a mid-win, but it will be an event on the Valhalla map. But we're gonna find that out as we play that. Frostbite mode is basically Bifrost, but you can add modifiers to that. I don't know if you know that from roguelites. There's quite a few where you can make your life harder by having like modifiers in there. Probably like having the neutrals have more health, have your people have less health, stuff like that. And yeah, you can earn more rewards clearing that out. What these rewards are, I don't quite know yet, but we're gonna find out soon enough. Added Miklagard Victory to Conquest. We didn't have that before. That's pretty nice. And yeah, UI, we know about all that stuff already. There's also a few new ornaments. For example, if you were already around at the release of the game, or even in the early access phase, there's now actually new ornaments for that, where you can flex how long you are in the game already. AI improvements have been made to the production management. Improvements have been made to the military units management, so I guess they will be even harder now. I've seen a lot of people that already struggle against the AI nowadays, which I think is good, right? The worst thing about an AI is if it's just not good enough to like get you any contest going on. Yeah, AI can now contest Miklagard Victory, that's nice. And Kraken and Kingdom AI has been improved. That really needed to happen, right? Like Kingdoms were really screwed up when it came to AI. Pretty nice. If you're playing against AI, quite the interesting update. Now let's get into the beef. Let's get into the beef here. We got the balance updates, and these are very, very huge. These are very, very huge. There are quite a few big changes here. At first, units, the general updates here. Oopsie. Let's go. The general updates. Archer's range has been reduced. They should now have less range than a tracker with full path complete. I can definitely tell the Archer range has been significantly reduced. When military units start an attack, they no longer cancel it if the unit moves out of range. So probably also if they run out of the tile. They will keep the attack through. If they already channeled the attack, they will get the attack through. I have not completely tested that yet, but that should make this tile dancing, where you just dance right and left from the tile, impossible, because the archers will finish their attack. The axe throws will finish their attack. Also warriors and stuff like that. They will finish up their attack. If they started out, it shouldn't matter if you run out of the tile. I think that's how it's supposed to work. Does it really work like that? I'm pretty sure it does. But yeah, that's gonna be nice. Yeah, I'm also a big fan of that, Sunbar. These were so broken that people were just dancing around the tile all the time. That's really neat that they took this out of the game because it was so frustrating, especially for newer players, right? Like, I know what I'm getting myself into. I know that the people can do that. Doesn't actually. That's nice. That's huge. That's huge that it still works. Like, I think this is one of the most annoying things in Northgard when people do that. You can counterplay against it with a few ranged units. You just sit them at the side of the tile, but hey, it's gonna be nice. Lord's stats have been adjusted. They now have a bit more attack and defense. Should be a little bit better now. Yeah, should help, because they really weren't that strong when they actually got into a fight. The Eco Lord even got 10 defense now. Wow. Okay, that's a lot stronger than before. And the military one actually has 8 attack now, which is at least as strong as a shield bearer. But 10 defense, it's actually pretty good. They can tank quite a bit now. Wait, does it units finish their animation when fast units run away turtle sheaf? Okay. Makes sense. But they were tanky, now they are even tanky. But they were tanky, now they are even tankier. Yeah, but they had no attack, right? Nice that they've been tanky. They had like 8 defense, which is not too bad, right? 8 resistance. But 6 attack is a Valkyrie. How much has a Valkyrie on resistance? Probably it's gonna be around 10, right? Like, I think Valkyries were a lot more beefy than these guys, and yeah, hit just as hard. Now they are basically at the same one, but they have the downside that, for example, with the Eco Lords, you can't really run out of your territory, right? That's a lot different. So, let's go on to the general knowledge changes. These are absolutely insane. They are huge. I can also put my camera a little bit to the side here. Here we go, so you can actually read the words. Recruitment has been changed to 20% growth speed. So one of the strongest lore Northgards had been nerfed a little bit. This is a big thing, because recruitment is one of the most important lores in Northgard to get when it comes to recovery, and a few clans just don't get it. So for example, this is a indirect Stag buff, because Stag doesn't get recruitment, so since all the other clans get nerfed a little bit, Stag now in a little bit better situation. So I think generally kind of nice. Recruitment was pretty insane when it came to the Kingdom clans. I still think they are still pretty insane, because all the other clans got hit just as hard. But I think it's great that they changed it here. Like, the 5% changed up to 4%. So when you had a lot of your clan units killed, it can go up to 40% now, so it can double up. Before, it were also possible to double up, but only up to 50%. So yeah, bit of a change there. Upgraded house now gives 5%, so Stag gets a huge buff. Okay. Yeah, we're getting into that as soon as we get into the houses, obviously. So, medicine. Healing units is now 60% faster instead of 50%. That is pretty alright. Like, will be most important, I guess, for red. I'm pretty sure it's red. Yeah, that should be a red buff here. So one of the biggest changes is actually Weaponsmith. Increases all your military units' attack power by 15% instead of 20%. Yeah, Weaponsmith, one of the lores that basically all of the clans were getting. Like, basically all of the clans were getting the Weaponsmith bonus here. Go only 15% instead of 20%. Indirect scroll buff, basically. Basically an indirect scroll buff. And all the clans that weren't really getting Weaponsmith over here. Yeah. Pretty huge change. Like, I think this is one of the biggest changes in these updates, because Weaponsmith is a lore that almost all of the clans will be taking, and it is now significantly weaker. 25% debuff, that is. Pretty huge. I think that might change the landscape of Northgard quite a bit. Fights will now take, like, a little bit longer. Not significantly. It's only 5% attack power here, but that will add up. On top of that, military strategy also doesn't have a maximum of 25% anymore. It now has a maximum of 20%. So each of the steps are not 5%, but 4% on top of that. So yeah, pretty interesting right there. Weapon, smith, and military strategy combo now a lot weaker, which will make clans that have no access to them a little bit stronger than before, definitely. Skrill will now win. Maybe. This is 2 upgrades that Skrill were never getting, really. So, indirect Skrill buff, definitely. So, I like that quite a bit, because Skrill in fights felt really bad. Also, Spoils of War is now stealable instead of field rations. Basically, to disarm Snake a little bit, because Snake with field ration was a really strong thing. You now get Spoils of War, which, funnily enough, is also kind of broken. It's insane. It's super fun to play with Spoils of War and Snake, but it is not as strong as Field Ration used to be. So still a very fun lore, which there will probably be ways to make it insanely strong, but yeah, gonna be yikes. So Wolf becomes a little bit weaker, yeah. Also the other clans though, so I don't think it's like a full hit on Wolf, but yeah, it's gonna be weaker. Vow of Chastity, food consumption is now reduced to 15% instead of 20%. I think that's fair. Was extremely strong. Was really hard. Nerfs all clans and 801 aggression. True. 100%. Will all be a little bit weaker now. But also, the Defender army will also be a little bit weaker. But yeah, they don't have the supply lines debuff. I'm still pretty sure that 801 will stay very much alive at this point, because I think there's not a lot what you can do to actually get rid of 801 aggression in Northgard. Like, there was a lot of tries to do that already. I don't think it would be a good idea. I think 801 needs to be part of the game. I think Shiro is also on the same side there at this point. So I'm pretty sure they don't want to kill it with this, but it will get a little bit weaker. Like rushes with villagers, defending with villagers will be a lot easier than before. Clear still dictate the tempo of the game. Yeah, definitely. So power rankings for clear clans pretty much similar. Yeah, definitely. Should be around the same amount. Now we go into the buildings. We already saw a few players, people talking about it in chat. Houses. When upgrading, houses will give you a 5% population growth, because upgrading houses was not a thing before. Nobody really upgraded houses because it didn't give you a real lot, right? You get a little bit of happiness when you get a lot of villagers, because like you have the expected villagers as certain amounts of villagers. You will lose happiness because your villagers want upgraded houses. That is still around, but now you also get a bit of a population growth bonus. Yeah. Remains to be seen if that is now actually something that can be interesting, like if you upgrade a bunch of houses. If you now upgrade 3 houses, that is basically recruitment, right? No. Not quite. You need to upgrade 4 houses. That is quite a lot of houses, but yeah, it's gonna be quite interesting. I think that will definitely bring house upgrades a little bit more into the mix. Will it bring house upgrades into the meta? I don't know. But it will make them more interesting, 100%. I will definitely play around with that a little bit. And let's see if we can actually break something with that. I'm not 100% sure if something can be broken if you just spam house upgrades and take recruitment. How fast you can spawn villagers, that would be nice to know. Yeah, shipwrecks got completely changed. All shipwrecks at first will now only give you 150 wood, not 200 anymore. I think this is an absolutely fair change, because 200 is just an insane amount. It's just an insane amount. So 150 I think is absolutely fair. Gives you a really good boost. Still great to have a shipwreck. It's not really about balance all too much anymore, because both of the players on a balanced map will usually get the amount of wood, but everybody will now get a little bit more. You upgrade houses and whenever the negative happiness popped up. Yeah, did you really? I just got more happiness at this point. I didn't really upgrade a house at this point, but maybe we'll see. 90% of Northgard players will now see a house upgrade for the first time. Oh, that's actually true. Like, a lot of people never went for it, right? So yeah, will be. Works with stacks since you get passive stone. Might be broken, needs to be tested. Yeah. Like play around with that a little bit. What I would find interesting is, what if you play a clan that can also take recruitment off top of that? So you have the 20%, and then you start spamming house upgrades. I think you can go pretty insane with that. No Zerg without gold building. That's actually true, because Shipwreck and Runes now only gives you 75 crowns. So if you want an early war chief, that is a bit of a Wolf debuff, definitely. Because Wolf is one of the clans that completely relies on getting the Berserker without the chief super early. All the other clear clans don't care all too much. I think Eagle will be fine with 75 crown to get its chief. Now for Lynx, it's also the same thing. Like if you want to get both of your cats, no problem. If you want to get the chief on top, you need to get a dog now. How does it work on horse though? We're gonna get to that really soon. I don't know if it's in the patch notes, but horse now gets more resources out of them. They're very, very close to that what all the other clans get now. Yeah, horse is very much closer, but I think we're gonna get towards that. If the shipwreck is further away from you, which should only be important in Bifrost modes or for Eagle, you get a lot more crowns if the shipwreck is further away from you. That was the case ages ago, but it counts from nearest ally town hall. So it doesn't count from your own town hall, but from your teammates. Back in the day, you were able to actually share shipwrecks with each other, and it were counted from your town hall. So if the both flank players actually ended up getting a shipwreck, they would swap it with each other, and they would get up to 300% of what were in the shipwreck. So sometimes you used to start games with 600 wood and 300 gold on top. So pretty insane. Isn't the case here, right? You only get up to 175 crowns, and the 150 wood is locked at this point. This used to be the case, Netron. It's not anymore. It's ages ago. Mjolnir also got a change. The global cooldown is now reduced by 20%. 20%, yeah, so it will proc oftener. More often. It will ignore armor completely, but only the Mjolnir damage, right? And it will deal 2 damage instead of 6, therefore ignore armor though. And it can hit up to 3 maximum units. So it triggers a lot more often. It has way less damage, but it completely ignores armor. So it doesn't matter if you hit a Valkyrie or if you hit an Axe Thrower, they will both get 2 damage from Mjolnir. Pretty huge to break armor. If you got high armor units, I think what would now be the case is you have like a ranged clan behind, a clan that goes for ranged units, and then in front you have a player that goes for Mjolnir and tries to jump the other shield bearers, for example, because you can break them up so quickly with Mjolnir at this point. I think this is super interesting change here. It's flat damage now, so actually a damage buff, yes. So I would say it's great to break down units that are, really, really tanky. Let's say that. So the relics now give you 25 fame when placed, and the forging time for a relic have been reduced from 16 months to 12 months. This is 33% less? 33% less? I don't know. With 1 worker. So with 2 workers, you will take 6 months to build a relic now. A lot faster than before. A lot faster than before. Update, yeah, you could say that it's a little bit anti-rushy. Like a lot of stuff that made early stuff possible is out, but I can tell you, as a rush player myself, there's a way. 801 there will be a way for 801. Maybe not right after the winter 801, but like in 801, you will still be able to attack your opponent. But it's not like, okay, the winter is over, instant attack. That wouldn't work anymore, I guess. Like what the Wolf really like to do, the instant attack shouldn't really work that way anymore. I think Hound might get a little bit stronger. Of course, Mr. Jotnar Slayer, yes, it is. Yeah, 6-month relic is a huge change. It's a huge change. Dragon relic rushes back, maybe. See, get Boar get relic before first winter. Yeah, sure, of course. Why not? The Boar relic also got a bit of a change. This is also going to be interesting. Others colonizing tile near the dwarves now release them. because there were a bug with the Dwarven. If you colonize next to them, they were basically would pop up in your diplomacy window. You could start trading with them, but you would not lose any resources and you would still get relation with them that were important for Turtle, or you would get free lore when you were playing Kraken. So you could basically just get free lore out of that. They changed that because you now reveal them, and then you need to trade normally with them. I like that quite a bit. I also like, because you're gonna piss off the Dwarven when you colonize next to them, that you can now instantly scout them. I just like this change so much. It is there to change up for a bug, to basically make the bug not happening again, but I like it in general. I think it's great. I can't open multiplayer mode. When I try to open my game, it gives me an error. The servers are down, sorry. Mr. Valentine. The servers seem to be down right now. The update just dropped, so yeah, there might be a bit of server problems currently. Let's see if it will work at one point. Sure, if you're a cringe meta kid. Yeah, true. If you go for full cringe meta, it will work. Working on it, don't worry. Yeah, I'm sure. The Shiro the Shiro developers are working on it right now. I'm pretty sure it will go online soon. Stack buff, woo! Yeah. Now, Marino. Now, Marino, what do you think about the update? Huh? We have a stack change over here. The Andreas got stronger at this point, which I think is pretty nice because Stack army. I don't think Stack was overpowered. Stack is pretty strong when it comes to fame. But I think it's very, very special for the games that we play here. In a normal rank game, in a full throttle game, usually Stack will have a super tough time to actually get all the tiles without the other team realizing that something will happening there. So in the normal games then, where actually fighting happens, you can now go for a super fast relic. Gets a lot faster than before, and then your Andreas will be a lot stronger than before. 70 HP, 10 HP buff, that is already huge. Then 1 more damage. Yeah, that's pretty nice, definitely. A little bit less resistance though. They will die a little bit easier, but I think that is catched by the by the health bonus. And then of course they will still scale with the amount of fame you get. Andrea got strong enough with all the fame bonus. I don't think you shouldn't take the games that we played here as a indicator for that. If you have seen that in normal games, that's fair, 100%. Don't want to argue with that. Like, if you feel like that, that's of course how you feel about it. But the games that we play, normally a stack doesn't explode that hard in fame. If he does, you will just attack him in 802, and he can't have that high of fame then. Nerfed Raven? Yeah, there's a bit of a Raven nerf in here too. Defense reduction is actually a damage buff as well with the Warrior Forge. Yeah, could be. A little bit. Could be a little bit. Could definitely see that indeed. Yeah, let's go for the Raven then. Raven is a good scout, but slowing them down a bit should be better for the game, especially for early rush strategies. That's 100% sure. I can tell you I played around with this, and this works out. Like the scouting speed bonus that you got from Rangers is now not 50%, but only 25%, which is important because when you send a scout out to scouting, you were getting 2 lore before that. When you send them out now, before with Rangers, they were getting 50% bonus. So you had 2 lore before, you got free lore out of every scout, which really let your lore explode way too fast. So now you will get a 25% bonus there. So you only end up at 2.5 lore per scout. And your scouts will consume half of what a villager would and not nothing. You can very much still play Raven like you did play Raven before. It is just a little bit slower than before. I still think it is meta for the Raven to go double scout camp, or if you like it so much, go for a dock and a scouting camp. I think this will still be the meta for Raven. It is just a little bit slower than before and not as broken. I think this is kind of important because Raven, it's the Raven identity, right? The Raven thing is, okay, I scout really fast. So, yeah, Raven's still gonna be annoying with the raids and everything, but I never thought Raven was so much of a problem, really. The raids are annoying, yeah. If we go for late game community games, Raven can be a bit of a, yeah, pain in the ass because you can't really commit for these. But if you go for Raven, you're pretty much set up for quite the rush game at this point, yeah. And the Raven still does what it does. It is a little bit slower and therefore doesn't enable Snake as much. So I think this is quite the change here. It doesn't enable Snake, Hound, and all the other clans that are super, super fast as much as it did before. So, Boar Clan. Boar Clan changes is huge. I like that one. I like that one so much. Oh, I like that one so much. So, Bear is our beginner clan if you struggle during winter. That's always how I felt with it. We cannot change its identity, but we are trying to give it a direction that should be a clear clan assistant. You can now feel free to use Boar Guild and Kaja to help your clan. They are no longer needed for your economy. Because the 200 fame bonus, which is a bit of a bummer, because in my Witches Clan is for you video, the first one, I actually still talked about it. This is one of the things that changed. There's not actually that many. The Shield Bearer camp will now give you a 10% production bonus when you reach 200 fame. It is not a 15% production bonus by your bear or by your war chief anymore. So it's not by Boar Guild and Kaja, but now every Shield Bearer camp will give you a 10% bonus, which is a little bit less. But I think in the combination Shield Bearer camp with Protector of the Land, now your Shield Bearer camp will give you 10% production bonus. On top of that, you get 1 happiness, and your eco is basically buffed by it. It doesn't fully force you into Shield Bearers because you could still build a warrior camp somewhere where you don't need the production bonus, so you still get the happiness out of it. But you can still go for non-Shield Bearer armies. You're not fully forced into it, but if you want the bonus, you go for a Shield Bearer camp. Yeah, I see the Boar Clan being a new clear clan with this. This is not what they said. They said a clear clan assistant. Means that your bear can now run around and help a wolf, for example, to clear. It should assist a clear clan. This is what they meant with this. So this is a clan that you think, okay, we're gonna go a little bit aggro. We have 2 hounds going against each other. We pick a bear that helps our hound to clear out the stuff. Yeah, bears is not supposed to be a clear clan. It should help clear clans. This is what this change is meant to do, basically, right? It is definitely not a clear clan still. What is very, very huge is that the 500 fame bonus, that you get free fame per enemy unit killed in a zone with Boar Guild or Kaja. Before it were only Boar Guild and it was at 500 fame. So they changed this up. And on top of that, the 500 fame bonus here stayed. So the other 500 fame bonus is just like they were before. For every 100 fame you earned, your military units get 1.5% attack power, which I think will now be way more of a thing, especially with this one here. So I think Bear can really scale out of control slowly. So if you have a rush game, for example, Raven, Hound, and Snake going against you, you go... just as a bad example, right? You go Raven, Hound, and Bear with it. Your Bear helps your Hound to get more clear off the map than the other Hound were able to get, because you are able to help him out with your Bear, tank a little bit of damage, maybe kite a few units. And in the later stages of the game, the more fighting happens, the more fame you will get by your chief and Bear, basically, and your units get stronger and stronger over time, and there is no maximum to that, right? I don't think you will reach 2000 fame with it to get the 25% attack power, but there's nothing really stopping you from it. And Kaja can enter enemy territory. That is just like it were before. Would you see Bear and Clear would always be mirrored now? I wonder what we'll do. Yeah, I'm just as much as a question for me. I do not quite know how this will change. The meta surrounding it there. We will see. We will see. Maybe the Bear will fulfill this role now, and it will be important in once, or it is more like of a niche pick where people that can really, really well Micro, the Bear, and Boar Guild for the other clans could be really, really helpful there. Yeah, we will go through the whole patch notes here, Manny, but good to know. We will jump in that as soon as we can. So we got the Boar Clan. We all remember the relic when it was +10, and it was a forced relic to make. It's basically what I've said all the time. So we don't want to go back to this. But we are making more rewarding to build it. There's no more cost to summon the boar. You have full control over the giant boar, and it can even go outside your territory. We hope that it will give a small place in some games. I think this is actually quite interesting one. Like the boar doesn't cost you anything. You still get the +6 food out of it. And the boar can now help you clearing. I don't think it's a must-have, but it might be usable again, Nitron, yeah. I think it might very well be usable again. But yeah, it's not. I don't think it will be quite the must-have here, but especially in single-player games, I think there might now be a bit of a window there. Sorry for me blopping here around all the time. I'm just trying to go over here. So, I think that it's more of a thing now at this point. Also, 200 fame. The knowledge given by fame counts towards your blessing this time. Yeah, this is actually huge. You get your blessing a lot faster. You only need 5 lores for your blessing now, because if you reach 600, you get an extra. Your extra lore, and that now actually counts towards the blessing. It didn't do before. So I think the relic definitely got a good buff here, especially like the boar being full controllable, going out of the territory. So you can also use it to help yourself clearing a little bit. And on top of that, you still get the +6 food. Did I say that already? No. You have a bit of a clear help, you get the +6 food. So I think this is kind of good, honestly. And it doesn't cost you anything anymore. Yeah, the giant boar stats have changed. We now have... Oh my god! 16 attack! This is damage. This is damage, guys. This is from 11 attack to 16. This is huge. This is big. This is 4 attack away from a giant or Zerker, like default Zerker. This is actually quite good. 120 health too, and more. Everything changed. Everything's bigger. Everything is bigger. Boar said it should be better. Yeah, true. And you can now use it to clear you out, and it should still heal itself. Boar relic actually OP now. It heals in combat as well. Oh wow. So yeah, we're definitely gonna try that out. They saw your clip. Maybe they did. Maybe they did. Maybe they had a bit of a view there. Yeah. Quite the interesting update there. Like, I think Boar will be really fun to play right now with the new relic. And obviously, like, the fame change will be quite nice. Like, I'm definitely hyped to try it out. What did I miss? Everything, Sully. Everything. All of this. Like, all of this. All of this. Let's go back to Snake. So, Snake only got a little bit of a nerf here, because they basically took the enabler away, right? The Raven is not as much of a problem as it were before anymore. So, they only changed the amount of minerals you will get with Scorched Earth. That will, and not, like in the... Yeah, when you're playing the game, you will not be able to attack right after the first winter with upgraded whatever, X-throwers, skirmishers, whatever you want to go for. You will now need to wait until you're a little bit into the next year to actually get the upgrade. I think this is actually quite a significant change when it comes to rushes. But Snake will definitely still be very, very strong when it comes to the early game. But Snake should be really strong when it comes to the early game, because Snake is shit when it goes late game. So it should be nice. I mine in my Snake games, but I don't care about this change. Okay, then it's rich. Then it's huge. Listen to your board's stats critic. Maybe they did, Mausa. Maybe they did. But I care about this change. Ah, okay. Well, it is a little bit of a change there. Spoiled Steel may make Snake a clear clan, actually. It could be. It could be. Because you can heal yourself and you got spoiled, spoils of war from the Wolf Clan over here. Is now for the Snake Clan. Where's Wolf? I don't know where the Wolf is. Who cares? We go on. Bit of a change there. Let's go into the Horse Clan. A lot of changes there. A lot of really, really cool changes. Horse, horse, horse. A lot of changes to try to give an economic clan direction without killing its versatility build. We agreed with the fact that the chiefs have too much work to do in your territory. So we sped up everything they do. You should be able to do other things with your chiefs now. So right now, you get 25% more crowns when you go for a shipwreck. Keep in mind, shipwrecks in total will give you less now. So 75 gold you would usually get, you only get 25% less, which is, of course... $50 something? 55? 55? Something around that gold out of one. So it's only marginally less than other clans would get. Yeah, math is ultra hard. Can't make custom lobbies with script-only mods yet. Yikes. Yikes. That's unlucky. Let's hope that, that will still come in. I think they might just be, maybe that were the reason that the servers were still making problems. So maybe they're just changing that. Could be. Ancestral influence now replaces medicine. If you don't know what that means, it is earlier now. It's easier to get. The Great Tower. Upgraded tower becomes a Great Tower. So if you already upgraded the tower, it should upgrade automatically. You have 3 tower upgrades for free. And upkeep is the same for the Great Tower as for the normal upgraded tower. Maybe makes towers a little bit more of a thing here. I'm personally not the hugest tower fan, so for me it's not all too important, but especially for the single players or everybody who plays a lot of alternative win conditions, this could be pretty important. So, we got Volum's Fire. Great Tower Guardian time. Maybe. Could be pretty strong. Volum's Fire now increased by 2.5%. So when you get a tool upgrade, you don't get 20% bonus on it, you get 22.5%. So this is pretty yikes. At least you don't troll yourself with taxes now. Yeah, it's true. That's definitely true. Like you don't completely destroy yourself with taxes. The taxes will still be pretty high though. It's not bad. Yeah, maybe. It's still a tower, right? It's still a tower. It's very, very situational. But in these situations, it might be something. Volum's Fire, just great. I love this change. It's just huge. Makes Volum's Fire way better. Maybe makes Volum's Fire now compete with Carpentry Mastery. Well, I think Carpentry Mastery is really, really strong. So maybe, might be a bit of a change there. I really like that. I will still try to go for Volum's Fire early for Carpentry Mastery. I think it now got way more of a chance to actually compete with it. But even if you go Carpentry Mastery, you usually get Volum's Fire afterwards. So, hey, it's nice for everybody, right? Whatever you do on horse, this will really, really be nice for you. Mining speed, yeah. The change for the mining speeds is increased mining speed, forging, and building speed by 40% instead of 20. So straight up double, not double as fast mining, but they're going better. Yeah, horse got carp back. The building speed of Etria is increased to 50%, and the forging speed of Brock is increased by to 50%. I think this speed bonus is when both chiefs are in the same tile. You get a 14% buff for both of them. Just naturally, right? Just naturally. And then you still get 200 bonus. That's insane. It's insane. It's wild. Like horse... very playable right now. Very, very playable. Might horse be one of the top dogs again? I think there's a chance. Ancestral medicine spot here. You got better Volum's Fire. You got faster mining. You got yeah, you got carpentry mastery now that you can still go for. You got yeah, all the faster mining speeds. It's insane. I think horse is really, really strong right now. I'm gonna have a great time playing horse. Horse was always one of my favorite clans. Super fun. It always felt like the build just is so it comes so natural, you know? I really like it. It really feels like clockwork when horse goes. Like the timings are all pretty nice. Like I always have a great time playing the horse clan. I'm glad that they made it a little bit stronger. It's feasible to grab both carb and quality of life. Yeah, might be. I've said so, that quality of life might not be completely out. Stag, there can only be one, yeah. Yeah, stag and horse might now actually be way more on the same level. Because horse got a big kick into its butt, so it might come up there with the stag, honestly. Horse is my second favorite, but buffs maybe a lot. We will see. We will see. I don't actually think so that it's going to be overpowered. But I think it's going to be way better when it comes to the top dogs. Maybe it is actually overpowered. I don't know. But I still think about the kingdom clans and yeah, other clans that go completely bananas in the late game. And I still don't think horse has the guts to keep up with that. Like overpower that, let's say that. Wrong word. I think it can now keep up with that. I don't know if it can overpower it. I would be really surprised if horse destroys a rat late game now. Or a lion with holy fire relic. I don't really know. But 802, I think horse might be really strong. It might be, yeah, Marino. That is what we're set. That is what we're set. There might be still small changes, right, if there are bugs around in the game, but yeah, that were what we're going around. That were also why I took the beta really, really seriously and really tried to do something in there, even though my time, like I had no bloody time to really play in the beta, but I really wanted to, yeah, give this update as good of a chance as possible by giving them as much information as possible. So they, yeah, when they bring out the last update, it leaves the game in the best state possible. Because officially, there's not going to be any new updates here. So theoretically, this might stay forever like this. Yeah. So, Kraken. We agree with you that Kraken's current... Cut that. We agree with you that Kraken's current pop loop is a bit frustrating. So we sped up the spectral warrior recruitment, making it less punishing not to produce villagers. Also, by investigating the Kraken loop, we saw that Rand's Blessing's special growth wasn't working properly. Right. Because Stag is in a pretty strong spot, I think. I think Stag is doing pretty well. I'm pretty happy that Stag didn't get a nerf this game, actually. I'm pretty happy about that. That they didn't went onto the fame and started to, yeah, blocking it right there. Because I think it is not too strong. I think it is very strong. It is stupidly fast. But I think in a normal game, people should react. They should be clearly seeing that somebody is booming in fame and then just start a rush on the Stag because it's ultra vulnerable in that state. Yeah, Kraken is fun right now. We increased the speed of spectral arrival. They should appear twice as fast. Huge. Makes it way easier to get your spectrals for the game. The relic now, we added protection to attacks from the sea, mercenaries and ghost event. So you can now put the relic on and you cannot be raided anymore and there can be no ghost events anymore. So Kraken is actually a counter to Raven now. Kraken was the clan that got absolutely wrecked by Raven before because it needed to be on the shore. Now, the Kraken can't even do anything anymore. And you can send out the Kraken to screw him up. Like, Kraken is the counter to Raven now. It is so fun. It might actually be in the meta just as a Raven counter. I love that so much. Endless Tides now gives you a pop growth and spectral growth increasing by 20%. This is a military lore, right? This is a must-have military lore. Now gives you pop growth and spectral growth by 20%. This is big. And now also Round's Blessing also gives you Spectrals a lot faster. Like, bro, you can... I want to see how fast you can get ghosts now. I want to see a 50 army Kraken with 25 ghosts, man. That's what I want to see. Like, only ghost army. Like, you don't even get warriors. You just get ghosts and send them towards your opponent. Can't go docs on a Kraken game. It might be a little bit iffy now. Might be a bit iffy. Maybe watch out with docs against Kraken. I think they can only call in the Kraken every 2 years though, right? Still need Hogre. Yeah, you need to get a bunch of Hogres if you want to get 25 ghosts. But only, you just get 13 tiles and you upgrade 13 Hogres. Where's the problem? No, wait! You only need 22! You need 11 upgraded Hogres. And then you get Round's Blessing. I don't see the problem. I don't see the problem. Doable. Absolutely. This is only like 110 stone only for Hogres. So I think that's possible. I think that's super cool, man. Like, only like getting you the spectrals faster, obviously, is not going to be as much about getting a spectral army. It now makes it a lot easier because I usually went for army, then got my word down to the lowest amount that I could when I know that we wanted to attack and just spawned as many ghosts as possible. I think usually up to like how many Hogres I could get down, right? I think I went up to 8 or 7. And the dream was always to go up to 8 or 7 ghosts and then pop Round's Blessing and actually have like 10 ghosts, maybe 11, and send them forward. And now that will be a lot easier. And also when you get your ghosts for your 200 buff and like high tiding all your territories, they will come a lot faster. I think that's huge. Also, your Seeresses will now produce plus 3.5 word. Basically, as any brewer would give you 3.5 happiness, they will now give you 3.5 word. And you are able to recruit a Valkyrie, even if your word is not high enough to, like usually you needed 3 word, I think. You don't need that anymore. You can now also spawn it when you're at negative word, which was always super finicky. How could you say that? Sometimes, I want to get a Valkyrie. No, I need to send 3 Seeresses into the Hogre, and no, I'm at 2.9. I'm at 2.9. I actually need to build another Hogre. Yeah, I need to build another Hogre. Okay, now I sent another Seeres in. Okay, perfect. We are now over 3. Now I can get my Valkyrie. That was so finicky. I love that they changed now, and you can just get the Valkyrie. It will pull you completely down, but this is sometimes what you want when you get the Valkyrie, to just have really, really low word, so -7 or something, so your ghosts spawn even faster. So, interesting one. We also have some red changes. Only a small one, though. Yeah, Pyres. We understand that keeping your Pyres up can be overwhelming, so we are trying to give you more space by giving you a bit more time. Which is basically when you lose a unit, so if you lose a villagers, you will now get 50% extra purification time. I don't know if you saw me playing the game. Sometimes when I went really high, I just do not care too much if a villager of me dies, because it's gonna ignite my flame. This was not really a good deal, but I think it is a little bit better of a deal now, so I like that one. And earning military experience gives you 25%. So straight up, you get the 25% bonus for purification time when you clear out stuff now. You get 25% more. So it's a little bit easier to fill up your bar, basically, which I think is kind of nice. Yeah, added that in game feedback after particularly annoying Kraken game. Yeah. It was just tedious converting Valks. I see what you mean. I think the explanation that I just gave before comes pretty much down to that. I had that one time where I needed to build an extra Hogre because I were at like 2.8 or something when I sent my, all of my Seeresses in there. Can you join my lobby for quick? Okay. So yeah, Red Clan now has a little bit easier time to ignite the Purification Pyre. So Hound change is a little bit complicated. Go in there. So we heard that Hounds is in a relatively good place. However, we are not happy with the sustain it has during combat, specifically against players. Also, we want players to choose more carefully which Zerkers should be prioritized in terms of level to get level 3 to level 7. We didn't change its clearing, but in mass combat, you should now be more careful about your Zerkers, because before they were basically unkillable, more or less unkillable. After, like, there were a certain snowball effect, right? But if this snowball effect wasn't reached, like, your Zerkers were just like, it was insane. What you now get is your carcasses will now give you 15% more experience. So this is the one that lays on the ground and you can take. The resources stayed the same. The amount of experience you gain by kills has been reduced though. And this should basically weigh up, giving you a little bit more experience for the carcasses now. But you cannot stack as much experience when you have, like, I don't know, how we have in all of our games, right? You run around with your 15 fox skins and your 20 boar skins, and they would all get 20% of the kill bonus, kill experience when you kill something. This is now a little bit less, no, only 20 instead of 25, but your carcass will give you a little bit more. That should make it just a tiny bit easier to get your boar skin to level 2. Which is like the most important thing to do in the early game, right? And yeah, experience needed to get level 2, also a little bit lower, should makes it ever so slightly easier to get your boar skin to level 2, which I think is what a lot of new players struggle with. So, Turtle Clan. Turtle is a beast when we talk about relationships. It can gain too much fame in a short amount of time. We are nerfing it a bit. The clan earns 20 fame for each positive level of relation with other clans and relations. So yeah, it's a big nerf, which I think is really, really needed. It is unchanged on how fast it can befriend neutrals, because this is like what makes the clan the clan. But yeah, the fame is drawn down a little bit. How much more do we have? And there we go. We have the Hippogriff. Okay. So, Hippogriff is a monster in mid and late game. Oh my god, I just realized this is the change that everybody's waiting for, right? There's a Hippogriff nerf, everybody. There's a Hippogriff nerf. Hippogriff is a monster in mid-late game with his Varangian. At least that's what we wanted. But we didn't want it to go only Varangian. Varangian should be an elite squad. You convert some and work with other units. So we reduced the camp needed to get some. So you get more warband for Varangians now when you get the camp. But we increased the scaling cost of Varangians, and this is absolutely through the roof. We didn't want to touch the quality of the units, but we make it harder to stack them. So you should be able to make fewer Varangians. So right now, Amber of Prosperity is also changed. So Braziers will now give you a 0.5 bonus instead of a 0.75, and instead of 1.5 during Ignite, you only get 1. So basically 33% debuff now, which I think is really needed. Makes the gold production for Hippogriff a lot weaker. Varangians will now give you free war camp or war band per Varangian camp that you get. So oftentimes you will only need 1 these days, because this is the formula to get new Varangians. I can tell you, after the 3rd Varangian, they get so damn expensive. I think if you get 5 Varangians, this is a lot over 5,000. 1,000 gold. So 5 Varangians is a lot over 1,000. So they are so much more expensive. Getting 3 of them is very much still possible. I think this will be the magic number now. You can still get 4 or 5. This is definitely possible, but they get so expensive that it would be better. 6 was 1,500, was it not? It could be around that. 3 was 500 or 600, which is very, very doable. They are still very, very strong if you get all the upgrades on them. So they can be insanely strong. But yeah, they get so expensive in the later stages. So in the mod, we have more changes over here. Any to a town hall to let players choose their clan in the lobby. Ooh! 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 Ooh. This was of the biggest downers. Like when I built a map back then, I built a dual map for like for my map editor video, and back then you needed to pick the clans when you made the map. So I basically already decided which clans the players are going to play. Now you can just pick any, and the people just, this is a huge change. Now you're actually able to make maps for like, I don't know, for tournaments or something. You could say, okay, we have a special set of special maps which are for a tournament, and like you could make a map that is really good for a certain set of clans or really bad for another one. Like I think this is really, really nice now. Now you can actually make maps that can be played in multiplayer in community games or something. This is huge. So I think we will actually make a little bit of that, right? I would definitely be down to do like some editor maps here. You can also set free teams to let players choose their team in the lobby. You do not have a choice between lock team or free team. Yeah, that's okay. That's very much all right, because how much are you really playing free team? Most of them will be lock teams, so if that is locked, it's all good. And you can select a neutral faction if they have a variant, and you can choose between them. So you can get the Giants instead of the Jotnon, and you can get the Leitalfar instead of the Mörkalfar. Pretty huge. It was a... Yeah, it's definitely better. You can place Maminils. Whatever the hell that is. Okay, let's go on. The mods are now, you can now make a mod that is only a script. And you can now, you can only have one script at a time per game. I don't know if that's the up or downside, but I think that's about not breaking the game here. So we're not going to go over the bug fixes here. We're just going to assume they are great. Whether you've been playing for years, months, or just joining us, the whole team here at Shiro thanks you for supporting our game. We hope you enjoy this update and can't wait to see you on the Isle of Northgard. Well, yeah, I can only say thanks a lot, Shiro, man. Really has been a great time here. Obviously, there's always players that think that you've not made enough when you already did so much for the game. Obviously, nobody's perfect, right? But I'm super hyped. I would have never thought that this game would be around for so long. When I installed it, I don't know, almost 9 years ago, installed the game, played around with it, had a good time with it, and thought like, yeah, man, that's a game I'm gonna do a few videos about. That this is gonna be a journey over 8 years where I met so many different players, and yeah, having such a good time with this game. Like, I don't know, I'm a really big fan. Thanks a lot for everything, and yeah, that's really nice. Yeah, let's go. I hope everybody supports them as much as me. Yeah, sure. I know, Marino, I know. But yeah, I'm 100% big fan. Like, yeah, you could also, yeah, not like them and not have the 8 years of development, right? I definitely pick this year any day of the week. Like, yeah. And also think it's understandable that at one point you want to go on. Maybe there will be Northgard 3 at one point? 2 at one point? I don't know. I really don't know. I'm not really too hopeful for that, really. And I don't think there's even plans from Shiro to even think about that. But hey, never say never, right? Well, hello. What's up? I'm atheist. But hey, you do you, man. You enjoy. Northgard 2 leaked? Maybe. Northgard 3 already leaked. This is the big thing. We have Northgard 3 in here. Holy shit. The second one is already announced. Yeah, if you haven't been around Northgard, yeah, definitely a good time to check back. A lot of new content unlocked for you if you only get the base version. And like a lot of content unlocked if you had everything. Let's go. Where's the lobby man? Give me 1 second.